For today's CyberCEO episode,
Cyberbacker is great. He's an integral part of the team. I feel like he feels like he is a definite part of the team for sure. He's taken a lot of ownership in that already as well. I mean, a lot of pride in what he's been able to do for me. So on YouTube alone, which is one of my biggest lead generation engines, is we've seen the views have doubled. We've seen the subscribers have doubled on there as well. The view time has since Eric has been on board. Just seeing that difference and his help with me being more consistent, that's been huge on there. I've just got somebody that can focus on that. I would say the last 3 or 4 weeks is where I've actually been able to back off. I'm not doing 14-hour days, and it's really helped me probably in a mental health. That's been a massive impact on the personal side for sure, because it's taken a lot off my plate. I'm not stressed. That's really, really helped. He is devoted to when he sets himself with the task. He's very self-sufficient, and he will finish that task. And I absolutely love that about him. I don't have to worry about it. When he says he's got it, I know he's got it.
welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Okay, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is 𝗙𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO, and we have a very special guest on the show right now. James, how are you doing today?
Good. Thanks. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you're very busy. Now, to kick things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe starting off with, what's your role in the business, James?
Yeah. So my name is James. I'm a 𝗙𝗹𝗋𝗶𝗹 real estate agent working on building a team currently.
Okay, building on a team. How long have you been in real estate?
Not very long, just over a year. I started April last year.
Okay, so fairly new to the business. Now, how about with virtual leverage? Is this your first time working with someone virtual?
Yes, it is.
First go at it. Okay. Now, how did you find out about Cyberbacker?
Well, I was actually at a 𝗙𝗹𝗋𝗶𝗹 event. It was a career leveraging event that we were doing up in Denver. And I met one of the Cyberbacker reps up there. And I'd heard about Cyberbacker, but I just had not gotten enough information to really feel comfortable with it. And so I never really pursued it. And during that 3-day event, it was talked about multiple times. And then I found out lots of folks that I look up to in the business and that have been in the business for a long time were using Cyberbacker, started questioning them and asking them how they, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, what their success rates were with it. And that really kind of sold me on it.
There we go. Now, based from, you heard about Cyberbacker, tried to do your research about it too. Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And it was one of those things, I was super busy, just dealing with business and didn't have as much time to do the research as I wanted to. So just being there at that leveraging event, that really helped because it forced me to slow down and I wasn't going anywhere and I was able to ask the questions that needed to be asked.
All right, there we go. Now, talking more about virtual leverage. Now, since this is your first time, how was the transition for you? Because a lot of us are used to working with people that we can meet personally. Now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So how was the change for you there?
Honestly, I think that was part of my questions of asking folks, because I wanted to make sure started off on a good foot because that really could have a major impact on the foundational relationship you have with the folks you're working with. If you start off poorly, it could have a poor effect on there. So with all that we've done through COVID, that helped a lot. Very familiar with Zoom, very familiar with Zoom meetings. And my biggest thing was, trying to find out what was the best practices for actually communicating and getting to know the folks with a virtual, because you don't see them in the office. You're not walking by and seeing them, the office next door or anything along those lines. And the best advice that I got was from our team lead then at the time. And she had mentioned having a morning meeting every single day for 15 minutes just to go over what the tasks were for the day and really kind of set the tone. And I've done that since the very beginning, and that has helped make this smooth with the virtual. aspects of it. And honestly, as a real estate agent, we're out of the office all the time anyways, used to talking on the phone, used to doing text messages. And my cyberbacker is great at reaching out when he runs into any kind of problems or barriers that he needs help getting through. And so he reaches out, and as soon as I've got the ability to contact him back, I do that, and it keeps the ball moving. So I've been very pleased with that.
I think right there, that's a good piece of advice. Just having a quick conversation with your cyberbacker doesn't have to be video, but just a quick phone call that would be fine too, right? Because you're building on the relationship, especially I think during the first 30, 60, 90 days, right?
Yeah, for sure. It helps build those expectations for sure. And it helps the cyberbacker learn you while you're learning them as well. And you get a chance to really kind of understand each other.
True. That's 100% true. Now, talking about your cyberbacker, before you got partnered with him, you went through the hiring process with us. So how's the experience there?
It was a lot faster than I expected it to be. But I was really happy about that because that was one of my concerns was, well, it's going to take a month or two before I finally get my cyberbacker on board. Lots of communication through the head backer. It went really, really flawlessly. I was guided all the way through it. Cyberbacker was able to flex to my schedule in a lot of ways so that we could get done what we needed to get done as far as interviews, getting the questions, the basic parameters of what I was looking for, and a cyberbacker as well. I really nailed down. And then anytime I just wasn't sure about something, there was a lot of help and guidance that was placed on that too, and suggestions on that as well. With that, because this is my first real, hire for the team. Been searching for an assistant for a while. Hired a few. They lasted for a day or two. It's just hard to find folks that want to work out there right now. But this was a very pleasurable experience, and I liked how quickly it happened, and the selection. I mean, I had a few to go through and to pick through before I even spoke to them, to at least go through and at least see what they'd done in the past. And that was really nice. I like that.
Now, you already touched on it. My next question was actually about your cyberbacker. How did you know that he was the perfect fit through that selection process?
Well, I think it started really with just getting that set of priorities of what I needed within my cyberbacker. So my cyberbacker is a social backer, but I really like my highest priority was video editing, and having that all written out in front of me when I started going through what they've done in the past. That really helped kind of narrow the pool down. Didn't really make the decision yet because I hadn't met him yet. Sure. But I saw what he had done in the past. Was very pleased with what he had done in the past. And then we started the actual interview process, and it just reconfirmed it really. When it got down to Eric, I was able to know immediately. I was like, "Yep, this is my guy."
He's the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, more about Eric, your cyberbacker. What are the things that you leverage often? You mentioned video editing, social media. What else do you let him do? Yeah,
so our big thing, because that was a huge task that I was doing. I'm really big into videos, really big into getting my videos out on social media, with YouTube, Facebook. And the posting of that stuff is not hard. It's the editing and the time that it takes, the time for it to upload, the time for it to do all the things it needs to process. And then the problem solving, especially with Facebook, where you run into little things that could cause, little hiccups in your day, and it could really disrupt your day as well. So, those are the big things I've got him started off with at first, was really to take those things off my plate. He was gunning and ready to go on the search engine optimization and getting my brand out there, which is what we're getting into now. But starting off, what I really needed was just to get that stuff off of my plate so that I could focus on some other things. So those are the big ones that he did. And I do a lot of content. I do on average 10 to 12 videos, probably every 2 weeks or so, averaging from anywhere from 15-minute long videos to 2-minute long videos, depending on what platform it's going on. That was the big one, was the video editing, and then the posting and adding. And now we're getting into shorts. We're getting into actually pushing that brand out there. That's what we're kind of exploring into now. As he's kind of gained momentum and he knows what I'm looking for in the edits. He sends me a proof, and it's pretty much approved right off the bat because I know he's got it exactly the way I need it to be. So, yeah.
There we go. Now, I forgot to ask, how long have you been working with Eric, your cyberbacker?
Only a little over 2 months. So we're still in that 30, 60, 90-day process. And I just want to point out to folks too, the expectations on this, because I've talked to folks about different virtual assistants they've used. Some very good experiences, some very bad experiences. I think a lot of this has to do with setting your expectations up front. This isn't, even if you're going to hire somebody, it's a face-to-face position. Unless they've worked with you before, you're probably doing things completely different than what they've ever seen before. They might have a basic knowledge of it, but they need to learn you and your systems. So take it easy, take it slow. That was another great bit of advice that was given to me was, in the first 30 days, just pick one thing. We're going to focus on that. When he's got that and you're comfortable with that, then move to the next thing on there. But don't try to assign like 10 or 15 tasks for him to do, because it's overwhelming. It'd be overwhelming for any of us also. And it just doesn't provide a lot of good communication because you're bouncing all over the place. So
True.
It's Eric and I feel like, even though we've only been working together for a little over 60 days, he's an integral part of the team. I feel like he feels like he is a definite part of the team for sure. He's taken a lot of ownership in that already as well. I mean, a lot of pride in what he's been able to do for me also. We've already seen on YouTube alone, Jello, this is incredible with the analytics I've just kind of been watching, because I'm a big analytics guy. So on YouTube alone, which is one of my biggest lead generation engines, and that's my primary lead generation engine really, is we've seen the views have doubled since Eric has been on board. We've seen the subscribers have doubled on there as well. The view time has. So, and I know these things usually take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to really start seeing that client basis start upgrading as well. So we're expecting that here any day now, to really start picking up on that. But just seeing that difference and his help with me being more consistent, so that I'm not trying to plug and play and doing business around that with clients, that's been huge on there. I've just got somebody that can focus on that.
Gosh, imagine that. Just 2 months into the partnership with you and Eric, your Cyberbacker, already doubled your numbers on YouTube. Imagine what you can do, let's say 6 months, a year from today.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very
For sure.
exciting. Now, more about your partnership with Eric then. What I'd like to know is, you already mentioned a few of the things that he's done for you in the business. How about personally? Has he had an impact on your personal life?
Oh, absolutely. I was getting to the point, and this is really why I've been looking for an assistant. I was trying to find an assistant before this happened, because I knew it was right around the corner, of me just reaching. There's only so much time in the day, and there's only so much of me to go around.
Yeah.
And that goes in the personal side also. So if I'm devoting all my time to business, then I'm not spending time with my wife and doing things recreationally on the personal side also. So that has probably the last 3 or 4 weeks is where I've actually been able to back off. I'm not doing 14-hour days. I could if I wanted to, but I don't have to at this instance. And it's really helped me probably in a mental health capacity also. So I'm not reaching burnout on there too, and I can still keep it pleasurable. But that's been a massive impact on the personal side for sure, because it's taken a lot off my plate. I'm not stressed about getting these videos out on time for that consistency basis, and that's really, really helped quite a bit. And it's systemizing things as well.
There we go. Again, stress levels are going down, more time for your business and for your wife, of course. Very, very important stuff. Now, one last question for you, James. And of course, once we have this on social media, Eric is going to be able to listen to it and watch it, of course. So we're curious, what do you like most about Eric, your Cyberbacker? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Oh, he's a good communicator. He's a really good communicator. And that was honestly one of my biggest concerns was the language barrier process of this, because of different cultures.
Of course.
Now, I do have a lot of background. I'm retired military, and I've actually spent time in the Philippines. So I do have some background in just the cultural aspects of it. But honestly, I mean, there's not any major cultural differences between Eric and myself in a lot of ways. But his ability to communicate, to reach out, and he is devoted to when he sets himself with the task. He's very self-sufficient, and he will finish that task. And I absolutely love that about him. I don't have to worry about it. When he says he's got it, I know he's got it.
We are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, James, thank you very much for dropping by. I had fun talking to you today.
Yeah, you too, Jello.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.